Hi there, Tony Linus with the October 19 Australian Market Report for ABN Newswire, and US deficit hits record high. The Dow index gave up last week's success and slipped back slightly over the weekend. US and European stock markets closed lower on Friday after the latest US corporate results disappointed high hopes and pushed Wall Street back down through the key 10,000 points level. The US government said on Friday the budget deficit hit a record $1.4 trillion US to the end of the fiscal year as the recession and a series of bank rescues cut a hole in public finances. That figure was $162 billion smaller than the White House had forecast in August, but it still amounted to 10% of total US economic output, the most for any budget shortfall since World War II. The Australian dollar opened lower today as investor appetite for the risk-sensitive currency decreased following poor profit results from major US companies. In terms of key economic facts and figures, forecasters are revising their unemployment figures and expecting the unemployment rate to peak at 6.8% in the middle of next year. The federal government had previously flagged a rise in unemployment to 8.5% by mid-2010 when delivering its budget last May. The jobless rate currently stands at 5.7%. In mergers and acquisition news, transport and logistics group Toll Holdings is eyeing more takeover opportunities as it seeks to become a dominant player in Asia, with plans to spend between 500 and 700 million Australian from cash and bank borrowing facilities. Chief Executive Paul Little says that with valuation multiples at their lowest in a while, the time is right to look at mergers and acquisitions of freight forwarders. Services and technology company to the metals industry, Ausmelt Limited, has received an offer from an unidentified company to acquire all of its shares. Ausmelt has recently announced new lead smelting operations in China and India and indicated that the offer price is significantly in excess of Ausmelt's current share price. Polaris Metals has advised shareholders to take no action on the offer by Mineral Resources to acquire all of its shares. Polaris favours a superior offer from Lion Asia Resources, representing a premium of 6% on the Mineral Resources offer. Pilbara Iron Ore hopefuls Brockman Resources Ferrous Limited, BC Iron Limited and Iron Ore Holdings Limited rallied strongly on Friday as a result of BHP Limited's takeover offer for United Minerals Corporation. And finally, important corporate news. US oil company Chevron Corp has made a gas discovery off Western Australia, which could underpin its plans for the expansion of the $37 billion Australian Gorgon liquefied natural gas project. Chevron operator and 47.75% owner of the Gorgon project said late Sunday it had achieved drilling success at its Achilles-1 exploration well in the offshore Carnarvon Basin, encountering approximately 100 metres of net gas pay. Myer Holdings Limited Chief Executive Bernie Brooks begins his United States East Coast roadshow this week as he puts the department store before leading fund mergers and managers and institutional investors in the lead-up to its November 2 float. Capital Group, Fidelity and Templeton are among the larger fund managers targeted during the roadshow who have already extensive investments in Australia. Their interest in the $3 billion Australian Myer float will greatly affect the final price of the shares. Norton Goldfields, one of the largest ASX-listed gold producers, today announced the successful placement of shares worth $40.5 million Australian to sophisticated investors in Canada, USA, UK and Hong Kong at 32.83 cents per share. The placement provides significant funding for the company's growth plans for the Mount Morgan mine project in Queensland. Monaro Mining announced an independent re-evaluation of the Rio Puerco mine in New Mexico, USA, resulting in a significant increase of 250% in the project's uranium resource inventory. Monaro's chairman Jim Malone says the results of this work have dramatically exceeded the company's expectations. And Wesfarmers Limited and arch-rival Woolworths Limited are among a number of companies to update investors this week. Wesfarmers' all-important first quarter sales numbers for Coles supermarket outlets are to be released on Friday. Merrill Lynch believes the gap is widening between the retail giants. Other companies who will supply market updates this week from their annual meetings include Qantas and Foster's Group. I'm Tony Linus and this has been the Australian Market Report for ABN Newswire.